That was Rebel at Heart by Ashton Irwin off of the part 1 of his upcoming but kind of out 2-part album. We're halfway there. It's called Blood on the Drums. The Thorns is currently out, and I'm very excited right now to have not only someone that I have been a fan of for, I think, a decade now, if my math serves me correct, someone who I've got to see play in front of small crowds, in front of 50,000 plus people, seen him all over the radio, seen him do it all, and overall, just an incredible person to be around. Ashton Irwin's in front of me right now. What's up?
Fish, you legend. Thanks for having me, man. And you got the album stuff absolutely spot on. It's 2-part album. Side 1, The Thorns. Side 2, The Roses. Half of it's out right now. The other half comes out in like 3 weeks or something like that. So thank you for nailing that.
Of course. I had a great coach before the interview started.
It's just like we spoke about. Well done.
Exactly. Just as we rehearsed, I can confirm that Venmo request and everything now.
Thank you. No worries, man.
Hell yeah. So how are you?
I'm excellent. I've just been obviously doing my thing, releasing some music on my own, which has been excellent. As much as I missed the guys, I mean, this was kind of a year off, so I couldn't help myself. I had to make a new record. It's been really refreshing. Feels good in the soul.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, things are good. And apart from that, I moved out of the city, so I used to be pretty local to your studio here. So I was in the neighborhood again. I was reminiscing of times, even way back when. I mean, I must have known you for well over 10 years.
Yeah.
So, we've had some times together, but above all, it's just good to be in here. Good to be with you today.
It's awesome, man. It's incredible to see, from my perspective, just like seeing the growth of not only 5 Seconds as a band, but also the personal growth too, because I mean, how many people go solo as a drummer, like besides Aaron Gillespie? And maybe Dave Grohl.
I don't know. I'm encouraging it. In the band, it's always been about the songwriting. So that's been really my main quest over the past decade. I've just been locking in the studio and trying to get kind of the best stuff under my belt that I possibly can. I love singing and playing drums is like my party trick. And I'm trying to get better at that. So that warranted a new record. And just really stoked to have my own little journey that really is fulfilling to me.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I kind of want to start back a little further, kind of towards the start of your whole musical career, because I remember seeing videos of you guys performing like covers of like Story So Far and bands like that. And so when I hear Ashton Irwin's going solo, I'm like, oh, sick. We're going to get a project like this. But Super Bloom proved it was not that. And it was something beautiful. And we'll get more into that. So So talk about that when it comes to, this is only band type question I'm going to ask, like the band writing versus a solo writing, because obviously it's very, very different styles, even though it's a same, at least quarter of the equation.
Totally. You can ask as many questions as you want about the band. I love talking about Five Sauce. It's been my life's work. So, I love the band, and, writing with them, it's more like making space for each other's style. And it's weird, like, we often write songs about each other's lives. So the difference is I can look at Luke or talk to Luke or Mike or Cal, and we'll discuss like what's going on in their life. And we can kind of see each other from the outside, and we'll be like, that's a song, bro. That's a great song. Like, what you've been through, as much as that sounds really painful or whatever. Yeah. We should write a song about that. And vice versa. So writing on my own is more introspective kind of stuff. And obviously, like, I probably write about 100 songs a year. So, and I have done since I was about 17. So it's like, making a solo record, it doesn't feel that strange to me because my output is still kind of happening even in years when we aren't putting out band records. So because it's one of those muscles you have to keep active. If you stop writing, I think anybody that's a songwriter will agree that the longer you don't write, the harder it is to begin again. So I really, really live and die by that kind of thing. So I just keep moving, and that seems to work for me.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. And then Super Bloom, I think it came out during COVID, if I remember right.
Yeah. So I was I released, it was the fourth album of 5 Seconds of Summers. It was called Calm, which was Callum, Ashton, Luke, Michael. And it was like a fan thing that they always used to say. So we were like, we're going to honor that and call an album that. And then boom, promo trip is canceled. We're locked inside for 2 years. Classic.
Yeah.
classic stuff. And so I got really afraid to begin with, because I was really geared up and I had a lot of energy ready to get out there in the world and like talk to people and promote that album. But then it, everything stopped.
Yeah.
So at the time I was living with the producer, Matt Pauling. He's worked on a bunch of bands, Palais Royale, Atreyu, and, obviously Five Sauce. So I looked at him and I said, look, dude, what are you doing for the next year? Like, we're living together. We should make an album. And he was like, absolutely. So we got started in the first week of the lockdown. And I was really grateful to just have something to hold on to. That really saved me at that time from just, whatever, smoking weed every day or something. Although I was doing a little bit of that, but it is California. So, but it was really good to hold on to a musical project still and get going. And it just seemed so appropriate to start my solo music when, the band weren't active. So, and then Super Bloom was covering a lot of topics. Like, it's got that song Skinny Skinny, which was a huge, jump off the ledge for me, to be honest, to share that kind of concept with people. I think it was hard for me. It's even hard for me to sing that song now. It really dissects a lot of pain that I've felt and conversations I've had even with my younger brother, Harry. So, the concepts I got into on that record, I'm really grateful I went to that place. And when I listen to that album now, I kind of just see it's like, I'm just glad I did it. I'm glad I got started on my own music before I'm too old.
That answer just gave me chills. I don't know if we can zoom in or not. Can we zoom in? I have chills. I have goosebumps right now from that answer.
Oh, man. Hell yeah.
So now with that, saying like how hard it is to sing Skinny Skinny and then covering super hard topics, you decide, hey, it's a great time to put out a live record of this and a full live performance of me performing all these songs for everyone to see.
Yeah, and I didn't want to go on tour because, that would have been controversial. Like, get out there, throw your masks away, I'm going on tour, fuck it. Bad look. So we didn't do that. I was like, well, if I can be in a controlled environment, I just want to film myself singing these songs with some of my friends, and I'd love to put that out. I'd love it to just be for free. Much to my detriment, I don't charge for things very often as I should in this world. I'm always like, they need it for free. Put it out for free. It's awesome if it's free and everyone can just get involved. But so we put that out, and I just wanted people to have a live representation. And aesthetically, I wanted to have that 90s thing. At the time, I was really obsessed with bands like Silverchair, and My Bloody Valentine, and I was really getting into this like shoegaze, like heavier rock thing.
Hell yeah.
And I was really, really interested in it at that point in time. So yeah, that record is really different genre-wise for me. Yeah.
It's really cool. Seeing you come out like that and then just hearing the live version of it. I believe King Starlight was on it too, Julian?
King Starlight.
Yeah.
Yeah, Julian Bell. What a badass.
Yeah.
Beautiful voice, beautiful solo artist, epic DJ now actually as well. And it was just about getting all this mix of mates of mine together, and it was good for us. It's really good.
That's awesome. And speaking of friends of yours and everything, you recorded the new record with a friend of yours that some 5 Seconds of Summer fans are familiar with, John Feldmann.
John Feldmann.
So John
Feldmann and Ash back at it. It felt crazy. He has a photo in his studio of us when I was 20, and we're like together. And I looked back at that, and I'm turning 30 in like 2 weeks or something.
Are you really?
Low key, yeah.
That makes me feel old too.
And so to have had, I call John a mentor. I look up to John a lot. His work ethic, his family relationship is super, super admirable. But also, like, his band actually hold the Guinness World Record for the most shows played in a year. Like, his work ethic in a live sense is actually insane.
That's insane.
And he's still playing insane amounts of shows a year, but even just getting back in the room and recording a record with him was massive for me, and he was the right guy to do it with. I was so grateful that he said yes. I kind of, last November, it was only recently, sent him an email And we're like, what's up, man? I would love to make another solo record. I'd love you to be a part of it. And I just had my fingers crossed. I was like, I really hope he wants to do this. And he did, and he was in, so thank God.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So now talk about writing with someone who you're so familiar with and having a product on the opposite side of the recording that sounds absolutely nothing like you guys have done together over the last decade.
Yeah. I guess, I don't know. I was really on a wave for Blood on the Drums. I just felt like I knew what I wanted from the situation. And John and I, first and foremost, at a primitive level, we have a telepathy when recording, especially on drums. Like he almost doesn't even communicate. He just like, it's like we're so in a flow. We know exactly what we want from the recordings, and we've really just evolved to have a really smooth dynamic in the studio together. So, working with him, writing lyrics with him, it's nostalgic, but also now that I'm a bit older, the trust is there for both of us. We have mutual respect for like what each other's are good at. And yeah, I mean, again, learned so much from John again.
Yeah.
Like it's just awesome to work with him.
That's incredible. Yeah. And now when you started with John, obviously you were very young and the band was not as big as it ended up becoming and still is growing to be. Now talk about going into sessions with John, putting out your sophomore solo record, and now you're the one who's inspiring the next generation of artists instead of being the inspired generation. But even though you still are inspired.
Hey, look, I think that's why I just want to keep making as much music as possible. Obviously, the perspective on where I'm at as an artist shifts externally forever. And I do meet a lot of younger artists now who are like, I'm doing this because I loved you guys when I was this old, and now I've been doing this for this long because of you guys. And that's really what it's all about. That really is the whole flip around of, when you're young, like 20 years old, and I was doing those records. I was so driven to make a mark and just be a part of this amazing rock and roll music world. And now that we're a little further down the line and I've got so many albums out during my 20s, and to have any kind of influence that's positive is really where it's at. I really nurture that, respect that, and that is that's such a level up, and that's so cool to me.
Yeah.
That's really something that matters to me. So
that's awesome. And just seeing you guys and you just throughout the years and everything, I remember, I think it was you guys were dropping your second record.
Yeah.
And All Time Low was playing here at the same time, and you guys were at the show instead of having a release party. You might have had a party after, but I saw you guys at the show. I'm like, you guys just dropped a record and you guys are just stoked to see live music right now.
Yeah, I mean, where we came from, seeing a live band was almost impossible because we were kind of out in the country in Australia. So any opportunity we get to see a band still, I mean, I've seen you at probably hundreds of shows.
Yeah.
I'm out there. I'm seeing them still because even just the privilege of being able to do that to me still is like, you invite me to a show, I'm so tempted still. I'll probably be there. And, I've lost a lot of hearing too. I just love it. I love it. I remember one of the first shows I saw was at Soundwave in Australia, and I saw Mayday Parade, and I was like front row, and it was the first time I'd ever been in a mosh pit, and I got drenched in sweat, and it was just the most heavenly new experience for me. Like, it was my first mosh, and I still feel like that now. I see mosh pits, I'm like, I want to get in there, man. Yeah, but the live thing is where it's at.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. And the last time I saw you play live, I think there was probably 6 or 7 people there or something when we were young.
Oh yeah,
not like the whole entire crowd of when we were young at your stage.
Yeah, that was actually, when we were young was an experience for me, man. I mean, deep down, I always hoped that kind of scene would accept Five Sauce because we have so much love for it.
Yeah.
And it's like for that kind of world of bands and fans to embrace my band is important to us because we really have been majorly influenced by all of the acts that come from that world. And, we aren't the perfect representation of emo by any sense, but we definitely have love for that whole universe. And just to be around at that When We Were Young festival was so cool, even though it was 1,000 degrees.
Yep.
And I look back at videos and I'm just like gasping for air on the drums, and I'm like all red and whatever. But it was awesome.
I remember I saw you guys as you were walking off stage because I was running back to idobi 10. You're like, just do not hug me. We are sweaty. We are gross right now.
Especially in Vegas, it was like you're sweating out a few margaritas as well, and it was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was cool. I mean, what an epic fan event. I don't understand why it has to be in the middle of the desert, but we'll discuss that another time.
Yeah, right? we'll discuss logistics. We'll get fans and more.
I don't know. I'm just saying, have mercy. You know what I mean? Like a bit of mercy, please.
Yeah, a little less hot. But you never did Warped Tour, right?
No, never. I went to the last one in San Fran. I drove up there.
Oh, we watched. Who'd we watch? We watched The Story So Far together, I think.
We watched The Story So Far, and then I remember it was NoFX headlining, and they were late. They were flying in from Brazil. And I remember we were waiting hours and hours and hours, and they finally showed up at midnight or something. Yep. And we saw NoFX play, and it was pretty rock and roll of them. Like, they still showed up, and like they, but yeah, it was cool to see at least the last one. That meant a lot to me because I missed that whole thing back in Australia.
That was a special day. I think it was me, my boss, you, and Youngblood all standing on stage watching The Story So Far, and I look around and I'm like, who's the one that doesn't belong here? Me. Why'd they give me a pass?
You definitely do, man. I remember seeing All American Rejects at when you see the All American Rejects at 4:30 p.m. and they should be headlining.
Yep.
They have so many iconic hits. I'm such a big fan of them. I'm just I guess I'm going on an All American Rejects rant, but I saw them in broad daylight, and I was like, I hope people know this band, they conquered the world, man. They're so freaking amazing. You go back and listen to those songs, and that's such a good rock and roll band. They're so amazing. Anyways,
so solid.
It was cool to see them side stage.
Yeah. And then we could go on hours about Tyson's solo project he has out now, or a side project he has out now too.
Oh, I have no idea about it.
Oh, we'll talk about that after.
Okay.
Yeah. But, oh God, it's so good.
Okay.
But either way, between When We Were Young, were you kind of off and just recording between then, or did you guys have some more shows?
So I couldn't stay in America because my visa expired.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So I had to bail. I had to go back to Australia, and there was a whole bunch of crazy immigration stuff happening. So I got stuck in Australia for a few months.
Oh damn.
And I was staying at my auntie's farm, and I'd all of a sudden gone from When We Were Young, rocking out, drum kit, big festival shows, enjoying the whole thing. I'd toured with the band all year. We're playing arenas everywhere. And then it was just serene, farm life. And that switch was really hard for me. I was my auntie was like, well, if you're going to be here for a while, you can look after our alpacas. And I was like, thanks. I need some purpose because I've been working all year and now I'm stuck here. I have no visa to go back home to America. And so I was just sitting there every day. And that's when I really started thinking about making Blood on the Drums. And I thought okay, I'm going to go back to America. Once I get my visa, I'm going to go get back into LA. I'm going to go record with John. And I'm going to go make some songs and hopefully get this album together pretty quick. So, yeah, it was good. It gave me some time to think about what I wanted and that kind of thing.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, it was a crazy time.
Damn, so the next time you stepped on stage was either Hotel Cafe or Desert 5 or something then?
Yeah, seriously.
Damn. So I want to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
Going from a festival like When We Were Young.
Yeah.
I didn't know about the Australia parts, but that makes it even crazier.
Yeah.
To playing in a room that doesn't hold more than 200 people.
Yeah, I know. I'm on a side quest right now.
I love it.
Last night I played Hotel Cafe and I did 5 songs acoustically, and there must have been 100 people there. It wasn't that crazy. That made me more nervous than, a lot of performers will agree. That's a whole different beast.
Yeah.
But I really enjoy it. I'm testing myself out right now. Just want to get way better at this acoustic, storyteller kind of thing. I've always loved that. And that was an important part of my upbringing where I'm from. So yeah, to be on these small stages right now, doing my thing on my own, it's cool. It's a test.
Yeah.
It's a test. Yeah.
And what you're doing at Desert 5 is really cool. I don't know how much you want to dive into it, but I'll just say it's cool.
That's cool. Yeah. Yeah. So I have obviously most people know me as a drummer, and one thing that I really don't like is waiting a year and a half to go on tour again and not playing any drums, which I'm sure other drummers can agree. So I basically made this side quest band, and I play all my favorite rock and roll with these guys, and we just go into Hollywood or wherever the hell and fucking lay it down. It's really healthy for my playing, like it just keeps me tight. But it's kind of like a secret little thing that I do. I just like to show up places and play. That's the best part about living in LA right now. It's like I'm just around town. I'm just playing, and testing out my songs, and I'm testing out my drumming chops, and I'm just trying to like kind of keep exercised for when I get back on the road with the band.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. And now Blood on the Drums, The Thorns is officially out.
Yeah.
And so now, is it called The Thorns and then Roses for the part 2 because maybe this is a rougher side of the record, more personal stuff?
I guess this one, there's a lyric on the album that says, I know your thorns protect your roses. So it's more like, these are like, this is the side of resilience and personal strength and conjuring that inner strength to keep yourself alive in today's world.
Yeah.
So it touches on a lot of subjects like that. Like, for instance, there's a song Indestructible, and that song conceptually, have you ever heard it? It's a dark phrase. I'm sure we can go there. It's called bed rotting, and it's a depressive thing that's happening to kids. I mean, they just want to stay on their phone all day and just do nothing.
Yeah.
And that breaks my heart. So I wrote this song from the perspective it was like just hopefully giving people a bit of strength to recover from depressive bouts, because like your life isn't a straight line to like just being enlightened and happy all the time. Like, if it's been like my life, it's like big dips, and then I find that will to get up and like, no, Ash, like you're still alive. Get into the things you love. Go and do the things you love that make you happy to be here, and resurge. So a lot of the concepts are just about rekindling your fire. And getting back to where you feel happy, or at least like you're living again, which is important to me. I think if you stand behind anything, it's human resilience to live. I think that's a pretty basic but powerful concept. So
100%, and I know it's going to inspire a bunch of listeners. I was about to say kids, but everyone's listening to this one.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone listens to everything you put out, but
yeah, I mean, I am just going to keep releasing stuff. But I'm really happy with the response. You never know.
Yeah.
You never really know. And this album is definitely a bit more contemporary. Went for more hooks and stuff. I mean, a lot of people know I love pop music. I love writing it. Like, that's so exciting to me to potentially write a song that like lots of people love is like, it's a songwriter's dream.
Yeah.
So all these songs are kind of built to kill. Like, I got my deeper concepts in there, my psychological perspectives and my spiritualism and all these things. But, it's littered with hooks that I love too. So
yeah. That's awesome. And now, is anything from recording the solo record kind of translating for you, like in band world, where you're like, oh, this makes more sense now, or could kind of bring this to the table?
Totally, especially after seeing Luke's like solo project. He does this really dreamy, beautiful shoegaze, acoustic, Death Cab meets like War on Drugs kind of thing, and my thing has a bit more like Teeth and rock energy. So it's interesting when you split the atom with a band. It's like, well, that guy is so good at this dreamy, ethereal, beautiful songwriting thing, and I'm doing this thing, and the other guys are doing stuff too. So when it comes back together, I guess we're just more aware of each other's writing styles and skill sets. But yeah, when you record on your own, I mean, I wrote with some people on this record, co-wrote, that I'll definitely keep in mind for the band, like when we start up on our sixth album.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Love that. Got to give a big shout out to Emma, who co-wrote on this record too.
Emma Rosen.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what a songwriter.
Dude, she co-wrote Lightweight by Dwayne, which is like one of my favorite songs of the summer right now too.
Yeah. And awesome vibe in the studio. Incredible lyricist. We actually sing a song together on my album on the Roses on the next side. It's called Wild Things. And yeah, we got some special ones together. She helped me tap into a more like a softer side of my folk songwriting, which I do have deep down.
Interesting.
Which I really appreciated. That was cool. I was like, I could see us actually having like some kind of duo thing. But it was cool. So we got a few songs together and super talented. And there was another person, Rachel West, amazing songwriter. We did some stuff. I wrote a song with LP and Evie Arnby as well. So yeah, it was cool to invite some people in.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. So you're saying the next cover band's going to be a Fleetwood Mac cover band?
Oh God. God, I mean, maybe you keep that to myself, yeah, but yeah, maybe
at one point. Hell yeah. So now with the anticipation of part 2 coming out now, what could fans expect, and what are you expecting for yourself for reaction wise and rollout wise?
Yeah, I think it's you got to be careful with expecting anything in the music world, right? But the next side is softer, it's more sensitive in terms of the lyricism. It displays what I've been working on in terms of my acoustic guitar playing and my softer kind of songwriting side. But the album is genre-less. It goes all over the place. There's alternative folk thing going on in the second half, but there's also moments of like massive hard rock drum and bass, crazy drumming. But then there's also like a psychedelic vibe going on at the end of it. So it goes all over the place.
Hell yeah.
It goes all over the place. And don't try expect anything, because I don't think it'll be what you're expecting. I think it's, yeah.
I love it. Now, I'm trying to put this together in my head math-wise. Yeah. That's why I kind of look blankly right now.
Okay, what?
Are you releasing part 2 of the record with your 30th birthday?
Almost.
Oh, okay. I was trying to do the math in my head while you were talking, and I was like, no, this is not going to work.
Almost. It comes out right before I play the Belasco.
Oh, sick.
On July 18th or 17th. Don't ask me for dates. It's the 17th. That's why I'm not the plan guy. I show up at everything, but the dates. Anyways, yeah, so it comes out right before the day of, so people will have about 8 hours to learn the lyrics.
Perfect.
And then I'm going to punish them with a bunch of songs they don't know yet live, so, you know.
That's awesome. I can't wait for that show. And now, is that the only live show you have planned right now?
It is right now, but, like, I'll see what happens. You know, I love playing live. I can't help myself. That's why I play everything from hotel cafe to, you know, wherever.
Yeah.
So, you know, depending on what the band's doing, I would like to start on another 5 Seconds of Summer album. That would be super cool. So looking at that second half of the year, would like to play some other shows. And yeah, it's open-ended. So, but definitely lots of 5 Sauce action next year. So I got some preparation to do for that.
Hell yeah. Well, I'm very excited for all of it. And now, obviously, having a solo project, having solo songs, having a solo record, solo shows, that means you need solo music videos as well.
Oh my God, so many.
So talk about the music videos, because I'm so bad at naming what I saw, but what I did see was super artistic and so well shot that I'm just like, this is a cool new side of Ashton I did not really know too much about.
This album for me has been like going to film school or something. It's been crazy. I'm so lucky to have like an incredible manager, Owen, and Ryan Fleming, who we've been working with. Us as a team, we've just been, you know, we don't have insane budget, that's for sure. So we've been making miracles happen with, you know, imagination, skill set, drive, you know. We've been trying to make interesting videos for all the songs that I have. It's obvious, but you know, the visual component to music these days is just as important as having good music, you know. So, you know, you finish the music on the album, and then you kind of need to make a visual album too these days, which I've loved in creating a universe for my own solo stuff. And you know, I love making music videos, but I also love the test of trying to come up with stuff that fits a little bit of a different budget to what I have with the band, that's for sure. Which is a test, but you can't even tell. Like, it's not about budget with videos. It's about concept, and it's about really just trying to convey a strong message with the simplest concept possible.
Yeah.
And I love that. It's been super amazing, and I think a lot of people I don't think the fans of the solo stuff really realize how much video they're going to be seeing. It's really amazing, the span of concepts we're getting into, and that's one of the most powerful parts of this release.
I love that.
Yeah.
And now, I don't know how this works technically, but I'll just talk in regular person terms.
Cool.
I went onto Spotify and all the new songs are your top songs.
Yeah.
So talk about that feeling.
That's good news.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, I kind of remain pretty independent. Like, I'm not on a major label or anything. I really pride myself on knowing how to do this music business without relying on like other massive kind of people and not giving away too much. My solo music is like my baby, I'm patient. I'm willing to grow it. It's not totally analytics based or anything. There's no one saying, look, man, it's not, doing this or doing that. I like to keep it free, and I love the way it's happening right now. It's got a natural surge of listeners, which is so good. And I keep track of like who's listening, and I stay kind of close to that fan base, It's more about just growing this right now and getting people's awareness of my own solo stuff cooking. So, yeah, it's cool.
I love that. And I love seeing you do it too, because every time you post a video of you just like playing guitar or something, you look so genuinely happy doing it.
Oh, thanks.
I'm like,
yeah.
Man, it must be nice to just pick up a guitar and just be happy.
Oh, yeah, dude. I mean, my grandpa said something really profound to me, and I'm like getting a little bit older, and I guess they expected me to have kids or something. And I was like, and he goes, I know why you're content with being on your own, dude. And he goes, that guitar, I look at you when you play it, and I know you'll never be lonely a day in your life. And I was like, dude, that's spot on.
That's
like,
awesome.
I was like, yeah, I pick it up and I feel light again. Yeah.
That's so sick. And I can't wait to see you play the Belasco, because I've never seen you play anything but drums live.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude, it's gonna be crazy. I'm like Octopus, man. I'm gonna have a guitar in one hand, drumsticks in the other, vocal mic, tambourine, synthesizers. It's gonna be nuts.
I love that. And now, I saw this online, so I want to ask you your opinion. I saw that Blink has been playing When Your Heart Stops Beating, and there is on their current tour, which is obviously...
Thank God.
Yeah. Like,
how good is that song?
Dude, so good. Both those songs. I was at TRL when Plus 44 went for like Gamer Week back in the day. I was like 14 years old. I had to be off camera or whatever.
Yeah.
But do you foresee maybe when you guys play live again, you guys incorporating some solo stuff into the mix as well?
That's the dream, man.
That's sick.
That's sick, right? Wouldn't that be cool?
Yep.
I'm all for that. Obviously, I'm the one putting out music, but I'm like, yeah, we should play my songs, guys. No, that would be amazing. And, Luke has a few songs I would love to play. I mean, yeah, if the guys are down. Five Sauce have so many songs, man. I mean,
yep.
It's really crazy. But I think that would be the vibe. I think that would be received well, and I would dig that.
That'd be cool as hell.
Really sweet. Did they play? Travis Barker was he in the Transplants? Was it?
Yes.
What was that song they had?
I always mix it up with the Rancid song Cadillac.
Yeah. I was wondering, because that song is so good too. There were so many. I mean, obviously Mark had the project with Alex as well, which was cool. It was
Simple Creatures.
It was like a new wave kind of thing. Yeah, I love seeing them. I mean, more the better, I think.
I agree.
And obviously but When Your Heart Stops Beating, like, that's an actual hit song. Like, that's a badass song.
So good.
Yeah, it's so good.
Dude, that and Baby Come On.
Yeah.
Oh, what fucking incredible songs those are.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I could go on for hours about Blink side projects and Blink, but we will not do that here during my interview with Ashton. So now, anything else you want to say to everyone out there right now? I think we kind of covered a little bit of everything.
Not particularly. Thank you for listening, and let's all give some thanks for Fish. What a legend out here. I've known him for so long, and it's been an absolute pleasure to see your growth. And the future of music is in good hands if a guy like this is at the helm. So, yeah. Thanks for having me.
Aw, you're the best. That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me on air.
Fuck yeah, dude.
That's going to be my pinned post on Instagram now.
I got you, man.
Amazing. Hell yeah. How can everyone keep up with you? It's just Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all Ashton Irwin.
I use Instagram a lot. I'll be honest with you. I find it the most friendly social media platform. But I'm on everything. Ashton Irwin.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, look me up. Or look up Blood on the Drums, or look up Singing Drummers, or, yeah.
Singing drummers? It's just going to be you and Aaron Gillespie.
Yeah. And, yeah, way down the list of them, I'll be on there. Yeah, but I appreciate anyone that's listening to my solo stuff. Love you and thank you.
Hell yeah. And part 2 is officially out, I believe, on July 17th. It is called Blood on the Drums, The Roses.
Exactly, Fish. The Roses.
Multiple roses.
Yeah.
Hopefully. I hope you're not just saying to appease me.
No, I'm serious.
Perfect.
The Roses.
Amazing. Yeah. Hell yeah. So I want to play one more song off of part 1, The Thorns, right now for everyone. So what song do you want me to play?
I would love you to play a song called Rebel at Heart.
We introed with that one.
Oh, well, if you could play that one again, that would be sweet. What do we want to play? Do you want to play, would you prefer like a more rock one, or do you prefer like a there's one called Lose You that I think we probably should play.
Let's do it.
Lose You is a banger.
Here is Lose You off of Blood on the Drums, The Thorns, the part 1 of Ashton Irwin's 2-part album, officially out on July 17th.
Thank you, Fish.